A request for a temporary block on Oklahoma's abortion ban is heard in court. Supreme Court is in session for the first time in more than a year, and 126,000 gallons of oil spill off the coast of California. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Libbey Dean.
And I'm Ben Thomas. We begin tonight with the fight against new abortion laws set to take effect in Oklahoma at the end of this month.
The laws will be as strict as the new ones in Texas, banning almost all abortions. OU Nightly's Kayla Davis is live in Oklahoma City, where a hearing to halt the new laws took place today. Kayla.
Hours ago, the request for a block on the near total abortion ban was denied at the Oklahoma County District Court.
We are definitely experiencing an unprecedented attack on Roe v. Wade and Casey, and there's no way to get around that. It's a treacherous time to be a patient seeking abortion services.
The Center for Reproductive Rights, Oklahoma chapters of Planned Parenthood, and doctors filed a lawsuit to block 5 Oklahoma laws that ban and restrict abortion care before they take effect November 1st.
We're very disappointed in the ruling of the court today. We know that the requirements of the medication abortion laws that can go into place November 1, as well as the OBGYN requirements, are very harmful to Oklahomans. With an influx of Texas patients coming in, along with now these new restrictions, we know that abortion access continues to be under attack.
With the plaintiff's request denied, over half of the available doctors performing abortions will be disqualified. On Saturday, people across the country marched for women's health care and reproductive rights. At the Oklahoma State Capitol, there were hundreds of people, including OU students and Oklahoma Senator Connie Johnson.
Just so many people who are tired of these needless restrictions and just want to be able to live their lives the way they want to live them. I mean, that's really all we want.
Judge Cindy Trong says the OBGYN and medication abortion ban that will go in effect early November will actually help protect women's health. Reporting live from the Oklahoma County District Court, Kayla Davis.
Thanks, Kayla. Abortion is one of the many topics the Supreme Court will tackle as it meets in person again for the first time in more than a year. Protesters lined the steps outside the court this morning, some concerned with the abortion cases, others focusing on gun rights and religious liberty. That will also be heard this session. All of the justices will be on the bench except Brett Kavanaugh, who participated remotely after testing positive for COVID. In order to remain in person, the justices and everyone in attendance are being regularly tested for COVID.
A massive oil spill sparks concerns along the California coast. And what's wrong with social media accounts today? Donovan England has those stories and the rest of today's headlines from around the country. Donovan?
Thank you, Ben. The 126,000 gallon oil spill off the southern coast of California appears to have stopped, and removal efforts are underway. The breach was reported Saturday, occurring about 5 miles off the coast of Huntington Beach. Yes, divers have been inspecting the 17-mile pipeline. The cause of the leak remains unknown. Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp all experienced outages midday today. Outage tracking site Down Detector logged tens of thousands of reports for each of the social media sites. Outages came after 60 Minutes aired a segment where a Facebook whistleblower made claims the company denied. However, the reason for the outages are not clear. And politician and entrepreneur Andrew Yang is breaking up with the Democratic Party. Yang wrote he is changing his voting registration to independent, believing he will be more effective reaching more people outside of the two-party system. And while COVID-19 numbers seem to be improving, doctors warn that while things are better, they're far from over. Thank you. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you, Donovan. The Oklahoma State Department of Health is showing a decrease in the daily number of new COVID cases. The department says just less than 800 cases are reported today, with a few more than 11,000 active cases across the state. The CDC says almost 10,500 Oklahomans have died due to COVID-19, and almost 2 million people in the state are fully vaccinated.
After a season with no fans in the seats, newly named Paycom Center is hoping to light up the city as basketball season is tipping off. OU Nightly's Shannon Ehrhardt has more.
Right behind me, the Paycom Center welcomes fans at full capacity tonight for the first time in over a year and a half. It also adds new lights to the city.
You can probably see those green lights from some of those areas because it really does glow and causes downtown Oklahoma City to have this green and blue tinge to it, and this glowing. It adds a new layer of excitement to an already exciting downtown experience.
And the lights make noise for both fans and players.
Been 19 months, and especially those that were here on March 11th of 2020, they're just going to walk in, and it's a great feeling to have them back. They're very important to our game experience, very important to our players to create that energy. It's just not the same without them. We're thrilled to have them back.
Now, just like the new letters on the building, the arena has new requirements for fans.
Where you have to be fully or partially vaccinated or show proof of a negative test taken within 72 hours of the game.
From cashless vendors to mobile parking tickets, Mahoney says that fans should be prepared for a completely digital experience.
Not a cloud in the sky today. Hopefully this weather stays, and Reece is joining us with more.
Libbey and Ben, lots of sunshine today and some pretty warm temperatures. We're sitting in the mid to upper 80s for most of us across the state here, but we do have some cooler temperatures out east. And that's because they do have some cloud cover in there moving into the area and off to the south. Now we do have these northerly winds coming in from a low pressure system out to our southeast. We'll have more on that coming up, as well as a pollen spike with that wind shift as well. Wind shift in the midweek and some normal temperatures coming in for the rest of the week. Ben and Libbey, back to you.
We apologize for the technical difficulties, and we'll be right back. President Joe Biden hopes his speech today will push Congress to avoid letting the U.S. default on its debt for the first time ever. CNN's Chris Nguyen has the latest from Washington as the clock ticks down to the October 18th deadline.
On Monday, an urgent message from the president to the GOP to put partisan bickering aside.
It's hypocritical, dangerous, and disgraceful.
Lawmakers have 2 weeks to raise the country's borrowing limit as the U.S. faces default, which could have devastating consequences.
Not only are Republicans refusing to do their job, they're threatening to use their power, to prevent us from doing our job, saving the economy from a catastrophic event.
Democrats say Congress should vote on a bipartisan basis to pay for bills for which both parties are responsible. But Republicans believe Democrats should handle the issue on their own through a special budget process known as reconciliation.
Clumsy efforts at partisan jams do not work. What works is when the majority accepts the reality of the situation.
Failure to raise the debt ceiling in time could delay payments that many rely on, including Medicare, military paychecks, tax refunds, and Social Security. Also on the line, tens of billions in COVID-19 economic recovery aid and a possible rise in mortgage and credit card interest rates if lawmakers fail to act.
And we've been warned by not only the Treasury Secretary, but by all of the financiers across America, this would be deadly to our economy. It would cost us 6 million jobs.
A congressional standoff with no signs of who will fold first. In Washington, I'm Chris Nguyen.
Congress has just 2 weeks to raise the debt ceiling to avoid major economic fallout, not just for the country, but the entire global economy.
And if you want to get a jump start on your Black Friday shopping, Amazon may be able to help. Roddy has that story and more in Money Matters.
The Treasury Department is redirecting rental assistance aid to high-need communities. The rental assistance program relies on more than 450 state and city governments and charities to distribute aid. However, those who haven't spent or distributed 30% of the funds received could have the money given to those in need. Last December, Congress has provided $46.6 billion to help tenants behind on rent, and the Treasury stated that $7.7 billion of that has already been redistributed. As some major stocks continue to fall, car stocks are beginning to rise. Car sales at major automakers across the U.S. are falling due to a shortage of computer chips that forced factory shutdowns. However, investment in electric vehicles is growing exponentially. General Motors rose 8%, Ford rose 9%, and Nasdaq's Auto Index Fund rose 12%. As of 2020, there were 10 million electric cars on the road, and experts predict there will be 145 million by 2030. And although Black Friday isn't for a month and a half, Amazon is starting today. Due to shipping and supply chain issues, holiday shopping is expected to be backed up. Amazon decided to jumpstart the shopping and offer large discounts. Other companies are joining the early start. Target is offering 3 days of savings on thousands of items starting October 10th, while Postal Services increased their prices due to the millions of people shopping online. And make sure to grab your lottery ticket because the second drawing for the Powerball is tonight. Since there was no winner for the jackpot on Saturday, the pot is now up to $670 million.
I have never bought a lottery ticket, have you?
No, but honestly, with that jackpot, I definitely should. That's a lot of money. Maybe I would just drop out of school at that point. But just around the corner, it's time to start buying your pumpkins. See what a local stand in Norman is doing to get us ready for the spooky season.
And Reece, how long should we expect these 80-degree days to stay around?
We're going to have lots of above average temperatures and perfect weather for pumpkin patch. We'll have that coming up in just a few minutes. Welcome back to OU Nightly. A beautiful skyline out there in Oklahoma City, not a cloud to be seen, just a beautiful day in store. We have upper 80s right now, 85 degrees with those very low dew points making it feel very dry. And again, lots of sunshine. Now going forward throughout the week, our allergies index is going to begin to pop up with some ragweed and chenopod's coming up as our main allergens as we go throughout the next couple of days. And that's because we have this omega block. You can see these lines right here. They're kind of shaped like the Greek symbol omega. And that means that right through here in the southern and central plains, we're going to have lots of pollen counts increase as we have some calm weather conditions. Now over here right now in the southwest, we do have this low pressure system, and that's rotating, giving us some northerly wind flow right now. And that's going to bring us at least comfortable temperatures for the next couple of days. But as we go into Wednesday and on into Thursday, as that moves off to the north and east, a dry line settles in. We begin to see some ridging here as well, and that's going to bring us some southerly flow and some much warmer temperatures and a lot breezier winds as we go throughout the next couple of days. You can see Tuesday, Wednesday in the northeast winds, but Thursday when those begin to switch southeast, south winds, those are going to begin to pick up excessively throughout the beginning or the end of the week and into next weekend, going to bring us lots of breezy conditions. Now as we go throughout the next couple of days, not much in terms of cloud cover or precipitation. Just a few clouds trying to push their way into our region there Wednesday afternoon, but overall going to be a very nice few days here. Lows tonight going to be into the mid to upper 50s, 51 in Miami, 47 out in Guyman, a little chilly out there in the Panhandle, but overall just above average for this time of year actually. And as we go throughout the day tomorrow, we're going to stay above average, pushing to near 80 degrees with our average right now at about 77 degrees. And lots of sunshine, those light northerly winds. But for the season itself, the fall warming trend over the past 50 years in Oklahoma City, we are averaging about 1.5 inches warmer than we were 50 years ago for the entire fall season as a whole. And now for the next few days, that's going to be a trend, at least for the 8 to 14 day outlook. We have a high probability to stay above normal temperatures for the next 2 weeks or so. And that's, again, just a mild stretch of weather that we've been seeing as something expected with the typical climate change. Now for that next week ahead, lots of sunshine and 80 degrees Tuesday. 79 degrees on Wednesday, but then that warm-up begins Thursday, Friday, Saturday as the winds come from out of the north to out of the south, bringing us breezy conditions and lots of sunshine. Libbey and Ben, I don't know about you, but it's going to be a beautiful week in store. I hope you're ready to enjoy some sunshine.
Well, I am ready to enjoy it. Thank you so much, Reece. Right now, it is officially spooky season, and pumpkins are obviously all the craze.
And Sooner Bloomer is open for business and has pumpkins ready for all occasions. They have carving pumpkins, decorative pumpkins, pumpkins to paint, and even giant pumpkins.
The pumpkins are homegrown in Kansas and make the journey south each year for the holiday season. The family-friendly stand has a photo booth, hay, and even a small petting zoo. With goats on Sundays, you can make the quick trip over to the Sooner Mall for all your pumpkin needs until October 31st.
And it looked like the Sooners beat Kansas State this weekend in Manhattan. Kenzie, was it a good game?
Yes, it was. The Sooners finally beat the Wildcats for the first time in 2 years. And speaking of Kansas State, the Sooners played the Wildcats on the court this weekend. Find out how they did when we return. Stick around because sports is next.
OU Nightly, I'm Kenzie Iserman, and it is Sooner fans' favorite time. It is OU Texas week. But first, the Sooners had to take on Kansas State. Will and Shannon were there to see them get the job done. Barely.
OU defeated Kansas State 37-31, and wow, it was a great game. I'm Shannon Ehrhardt alongside Will Blessing. Will, tell me, what are some of the takeaways you saw from this game in Manhattan?
Well, biggest takeaway, the Sooners seem to be getting into a form. This is something that we've seen them struggle with. Offensively, they got the run game down. Passing game was still a little iffy, but the run game behind Kennedy Brooks was solid. Defensively, took them a little time to adjust to the surprise addition of Skylar Thompson. But overall, they're making some stops that they need to. They're making some plays that they need to. They're getting into a form.
And Skylar Thompson and company did really, really well. He and his team, his offense, converted 4 out of 5 times on 4th down, and that was really the game changer. Overall, they had more time with the ball, more possessions, which kind of threw OU off guard. So that was definitely a game changer.
Yes, absolutely. And talking on those 4th down conversions, that's part of the defensive struggles that we saw today from the Sooners, specifically on their pass coverage and on their coverage of Deuce Vaughn, allowing him to have a major offensive production.
And on the defensive side of the ball, I really think that offenses are starting to figure out this speed D, and they're slowing him down, and it's something that OU's not used to seeing. So that was why this game was so tight. But for Will Blessing, I'm Shannon Ehrhardt. We are in Bill Snyder Family Stadium. Good night.
And speaking of football, let's talk about the NFL. Week 4 was nothing short of exciting, especially for former Sooner Kyler Murray, who led the Cardinals to yet another victory on Sunday. Heisman winner Kyler Murray has led the Arizona Cardinals to the NFC's only perfect record. The Cardinals played the Rams this weekend, and Murray completed 24 of 32 passes. Kyler had 2 touchdowns, with the final being 37-20 win for the Cardinals. All eyes were on Belichick and Brady at the end of the Patriots and Buccaneers game. The two had a brief interaction, hugged, then went on their way. As for the game, Brady was able to take down the Patriots. Tampa Bay put up 19, whereas the Patriots were only able to put up 17. OU volleyball faced K-State on Friday and won 3-1. Peyton Dunn recorded her 6th career double-double with 37 assists and 12 digs. But K-State was able to bounce back Saturday and defeat the Sooners with that same score, 3-1. On Saturday, Purdue took on Minnesota in the pouring rain. A cheerleader from Purdue stole the show. She jumps and boom, belly flops into a puddle. I think it's safe to say she has other skills. Looks like that's all the time we have for sports, but you're in luck because it's Monday. Make sure to tune in to Sooner Sports Pad tonight live at 7:30 on Bally Sports Oklahoma for more sports coverage.
Thanks, Kenzie.
Straight ahead on OU Nightly, if you have extra acorns in your lawn, now there's a place to send them. Find out where when we come back.
I'm Lisa Maslovskaya at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Stocks closed lower today with big technology companies like Apple and Microsoft taking the greatest losses. And the price of oil topped 77 barrels for the first time since 2014. Economic experts say these are signs of rising inflation for the U.S. economy. The Labor Department will reveal more information on the economy's health later this week. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Those extra acorns scattered in your lawn can help our furry little friends this winter.
Wild Care Oklahoma is asking for acorn donations for their rescued squirrels. While being rehabilitated, these furry creatures do not have the same supply of nuts as they usually would have in the wild.
Donations of untreated acorns and other tree nuts can be brought to the Wild Care facility. More information regarding donations can be found at wildcareoklahoma.org. And Reece is going to join us with some more weather. Reece?
We have the perfect week to go out and go find some acorns. 80 and 79 Tuesday and Wednesday, lots of sunshine. A warm up into the weekend, up lower 90s for us Friday, Saturday. But Sunday, we do have our next chance of rain and finally a cool down. Hopefully we'll be reaching those below average temperatures we need to be seeing.
Thanks for tuning into OU Nightly. We're live every weekday from Gaylord Hall on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30. Good night.
Night.